everyone. Welcome to Main Street Matters by Heart on Main Street, the podcast that knows trust is the currency of retail. I am your host, Patrick Keiser. This is our fourth episode in our series on John Jantsch's Duct Tape Marketing. In episode 1, we talked about the Marketing Hourglass, a new way to guide customers from knowing about your business all the way to referring your business to their friends. In episode 2, we discussed why everyone is not your market and how to define your ideal customer. Last week in episode 3, we explored differentiation and the power of your talking logo. Today, we're going to be diving into what may be the single most important tool for building trust with your customers: content. Now, before I dive in, I do want to encourage you to go out and buy this book. It's Duct Tape Marketing by John Jantsch. I'm covering a lot of key points over these 10 episodes, but you're going to see things differently, and something might speak to you that I completely omit. So I do encourage you to go out, buy the book, read the book, and really ingest its information. Also, if you're liking this content, make sure to drop a follow to this podcast. Really, followers help sustain our podcast and make sure we're able to provide great content for you. And, you can go back and listen to any of the other 98 podcasts that we have out right now. Next week is going to be episode 100. So excited about that. Now, speaking of content, I know the word content can feel overwhelming. Maybe you picture endless blog posts, YouTube videos, or trying to keep up with the latest TikTok dance trends. But here's the good news. For independent retailers, content marketing does not have to be complicated, expensive, or time-consuming. At its core, it's simply about communicating in ways that educate, inspire, and connect with your ideal customer. As John Jantsch says, content is the voice of your marketing strategy. So in this episode, we'll talk about why content builds trust, the different forms it can take for small retail businesses, examples that work on Main Street, and practical steps that you can take this week to start winning hearts through content. So get ready to make some content that feels aligned. It's book club time. Let's start with the why. Why does content matter so much for trust? Think about the Marketing Hourglass. After know, or that's K-N-O-W, or awareness, and like comes trust. It's that third element. Trust is what transforms a curious shopper into a confident buyer. And trust is built over time through repeated positive interactions. Content is how you create those interactions, even when the customer isn't standing inside your store. Jantsch explains it this way. People trust people who educate them. When you teach your customers something useful, you demonstrate expertise and generosity. You're not just trying to make a sale, you're helping them solve a problem, and that builds credibility. For example, imagine 2 home decor shops. Shop A just posts product photos with captions like "new vase in stock." Shop B posts 5 easy ways to refresh your living room for spring, featuring one of our favorite vases. Which shop earns more trust? Well, to me, shop B, because they're not just selling, they're guiding me through the experience. Here's another way to look at it. Content acts like a bridge. Before a customer is ready to buy, they still want reassurance that you get them. You get their needs, their style, their values. Content is how you show that you do that. And for independent retailers, this is a huge advantage. You're not a faceless corporation. You can speak in personal, authentic voices. You can share your story. You can highlight local artisans, celebrate community events, or show behind-the-scenes glimpses of your staff. That kind of content resonates deeply with customers because it is real. In fact, trust comes less from polished perfection and more from consistent authenticity. Jantsch says consistency builds trust more than cleverness. So the question isn't, should I do content? The question is, what kind of content builds the most trust with my ideal customers? Now that we've established why content builds trust, let's look at the type of content that makes sense for Main Street retailers like you. You don't have to do everything. You just need a handful of formats that you can sustain consistently. So here are 7 different types of content to consider. 1. Educational content. Teach customers something related to your products. A kitchen shop might share recipes. A bookshop might post 3 summer beach read lists. A toy store could create how to pick the right STEM toy by age. Doing things like this positions you as an expert and helps solve real problems. Remember, that's what customers want. They want to have their problems solved. Content idea number 2, storytelling content. Share your story, your staff stories, or your vendors' stories. Tell the origin of your store. People like this. They want to know why you got into running a business yourself. You can highlight an employee of the month. People, again, want to know and want to be familiar with the faces when they walk into a store and have them not just be a random person, but someone that they can connect to. You could also feature a local artisan whose products you carry, featuring them and highlighting them as someone that's local to your community that you're also representing. You're hitting on so many different things here. You're talking about shopping local and being local and supporting local. People will resonate with that. That will be electric for them. Stories create emotional connections, and you want that story to be a part of what you're telling. People will be a part of the story themselves as you start to tell it. Content idea number 3 is behind the scenes content. Customers love peeking behind the curtain. You could show how you set up your holiday display window, setting up your phone in a time lapse, so it's this quick progression of building out your window. That's a really great content idea. People will really like that. You could also use a time lapse to show how you're resetting a display, showing what it went from in the steps in the process to get it to being something new and transformative within your store. You could introduce delivery day chaos with some humor of all of the packages coming in, all of the boxes, all of the pallets of merchandise coming into your store. Not only does it advertise for those things, but then you can show how you're inventorying it, how you stock things, and really give people a glimpse into the idea that running a retail business is a lot of work and everything that goes into it. This humanizes your business and makes people really want to support and help your business out because of all the work that you're putting into it. Content idea number 4 is social proof content. Nothing builds trust like customers seeing other customers talk about your store and giving their opinions about it. So you can interview customers, you can ask them to share testimonials, you can post photos of happy customers, of course, all of this with their permission. Repost tagged photos from social media where people have tagged your store and that you're reposting it. Think about that. When you post something and someone reposts it, or you tag an account in it and they repost yours, you get a little extra jolt off of that. And so by taking that and giving that same experience to somebody else really helps build that social proof. And Jantsch reminds us that people trust people who are like them. So having the people connect to your store, having other people talk about your store on social media, that's going to encourage others to do it as well. Content number 5 is event-based content. Tie your content to what's happening either around your store or around your community. Promote your community festivals. Share holiday gift guides. Highlight sales or store events with behind-the-scenes prep work. This keeps you timely and relevant and connects to everything else that's going on in your community. If they know about the festival and you're highlighting the festival, then they'll think of you when they're going to that festival or when they're preparing for it. Content number 6 concept is user-generated content. So invite your customers to create content for you. You could do photo contests, you hashtag for shoppers to share their finds, have it unique to your store. You could have testimonials recorded on video in your store, again, with their permission. This not only provides content, but also deepens the customer engagement. And number 7 is evergreen content. Create content that stays useful all throughout the year. Things like how to care for your jewelry, People are going to need to know that not only when they bought it, but they're going to want to know about it a couple months later and a couple months later after that as they're continuing to care for this jewelry. Top 10 rainy day events for kids. People are always looking for things to do for their children, for the children that they're looking after when you can't just go outside and let them go to the playground. So rainy day activities. All throughout the year this can work. How to layer decor pieces in small spaces, helping people re-envision what they can do in their house no matter the time of year. Evergreen content builds trust continually, not just at one time. So as a key principle, you don't have to master all 7 of these. Pick 2 or 3 types that really align with your strengths and your vision and your ideal customer's interests, and do those really, really well. So let's connect this back to the marketing hourglass. Content isn't just about trust, it shows up really in every stage. So let's walk through those stages. The know or awareness. Content makes you discoverable. Blog posts help with SEO, social media posts expand your reach, and short videos catch attention of people. Like is the second step. Content shows personality. A playful Instagram story or a heartfelt Facebook post helps customers decide if they like you or not. Trust is step 3, and this is the core. The educational blogs, testimonials, and how-to videos all reinforce that credibility. Step 4 is try. So free samples, webinars, or downloadable guides are all great forms of content. They let people test your value before they buy in. Step 5 is buy. Even here, content matters. Clear product descriptions, helpful signage, and frequently asked question pages reduce all of the buying friction, and that's content too. Step number 6 in the marketing hourglass is repeat. Email newsletters with helpful tips will help bring customers back into your store. You'll be constantly reminding them of the value that you provide and how you're educating them and how you're providing content for them and ideas for them to use. And then the step 7 of the marketing hourglass is refer. Shareable content like contests or feel-good stories give customers tools to help spread the word about your store. So content isn't just a side project, it's a thread running through your entire customer journey. So at this point, you might be thinking, okay, Patrick, I get it, content matters, but I don't have the time. Well, you're not alone. Time, confidence, and consistency are the biggest barriers for retail. So let's tackle them. Roadblock number 1 is time. A solution for this is to repurpose things. One blog post can become 3 social media posts, can become a short video and a newsletter blurb. So don't reinvent something every single time you need content. Reuse things. Have something that you can use multiple times over and over, therefore that you're getting 5-6 uses out of the time it took to do one thing. Another roadblock is confidence. So a solution to this is start small. You don't need fancy cameras or perfect writing. A smartphone photo with helpful captions builds more trust than a polished ad. And if you don't feel confident with your smartphone photo taking capabilities, we have a great webinar on our website, heartonmainstreet.org, that talks to you about different things that you can do with your phone and helps you build skill sets in order to take better pictures using just your phone. Again, you don't need a fancy camera. And I promise you, as a person who hated going on camera and hated going in front of their phone and recording things, the more that you do it, the more confidence that you build, the better you're going to be at it the 100th time than you are the first time. And I know it's going to take a little bit to get through that, and that's okay. You can mess up a bunch of times and just delete those, or you can make a compilation of all your silly mess ups, and that's human too. So be confident in yourself that you will grow, that you will get better creating your own content. The third roadblock that I consistently hear is consistency. So a solution to this is create a simple content calendar. even one post a week done consistently is better than bursts of content followed by weeks of silence. As Jantsch says, the best content plan is the one that you will actually do. And remember, your content doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be authentic. So here are 3 steps that you can take right now to start building trust through content. Pick one format. Choose one type of content. Maybe it's Instagram posts, maybe it's a monthly blog, maybe it's a weekly email, but commit to starting small and make sure that you're doing this one really well. You can brainstorm 10 ideas. Take 20 minutes, write down 10 content ideas connected to your products or your customers' questions. For example, top 5 teacher gifts, how to style scarves 3 different ways, or our favorite holiday candles. Those can be content ideas that you can build things around. And then create one piece of content this week. Don't overthink it. Snap a photo, write a short description, and post it. Then watch how people engage with that. Remember, trust isn't built into one post. It's built over time. But the sooner you start, the sooner that trust grows. So that first picture or that first video that you post might not get the engagement that you dreamed of, and that's okay. Stick with it. It's that consistency that matters. So that's it for episode 4 of our Duct Tape Marketing series. Today we explored why content is the currency of trust, the types of content that work best for independent retailers, and how to overcome roadblocks that keep so many shop owners from even getting started. Next week, we're going to shift our episode 5 to your digital storefront. We'll talk about building a total online presence, how your website, social media, and online reviews all connect back to the Marketing Hourglass. So if today's episode sparked an idea, share it with another retailer who could use the encouragement. And if you're listening on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave a quick review. It helps us reach more Main Street businesses who need this kind of support. You can find a ton of resources that we have through our website, heartonmainstreet.org. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that helps independent retailers rebuild after natural disasters. So if you are in a position to do so, please consider making a donation to our organization. Even a small $5, $10 donation goes a really long way to helping us accomplish our mission, helping stores rebuild back so that they can remain a vital part of their community. So stay safe, shop local, and keep your heart on Main Street. This episode was written, produced, researched, and edited by me, Patrick Keiser, with a very special thanks to John Jantsch in his book, Duct Tape Marketing. For more information about Heart on Main Street, you can visit www.heartonmainstreet.org. Thanks. Bye.